way.
So, what did we think of this episode, guys?
I love this episode.
Yeah.
I love this episode.
People blew up over that rap battle.
The rap battle was fantastic.
The lead up, even Volkai was like, that was the best lead up to a bit ever.
That's so real. You guys were like good at that. Like
I feel like a couple of things from the heart. I can't remember what it was, but some feelings were thrown up.
Some of
You mean
it
because of what was said? Did it strike a little close to home?
I just channeled some real emotions to produce some acting.
this is where like they say every joke has some truth behind it.
There was actually a few times where I wondered, like, that wasn't too far, was it? Did I cross a line?
Like, you mentioned like getting breakfast in bed, and I like look over at Judge immediately like, okay, we're good. He's not really pissed.
Jackson's gonna have some choice words about making he visits his therapist. It was all just for play, but I can't help but detect a little hint of truth in his voice.
Well, welcome to my world on a daily basis with this show.
No one cares.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, exactly.
Point taken. All right, we just got done wrapping up episode number 14.
The most important thing, the troll question. Juxta 19, Kyle
God.
13.
That's close though.
Yeah,
I was worried it was like me, and then you shit.
and then suddenly I'm like, boom!
Whoa, like, oh shit. I won.
Normally when we're on mic, you just like will keep going with whatever your thought is, but in that one moment you were like, okay.
I was scared.
Okay, just getting done with episode 14. A lot of cool stuff. We tried the rap battle live, which it worked. It worked. It was hilarious. It was awesome. There was a lot of things that could have gone wrong in that segment.
Well, one thing did go wrong. I had like an actual first verse made back at home, and I forgot to send it to
This
myself.
was a lot better.
Yeah.
This one was a lot better than what you
No.
had at home. No, it was, because something that you did that I kept trying to do these past few months, because this has been in the works for like 2 months.
Right.
And whenever I was at work, there was a lot of verses that I made, and what I really wanted to do and focus on was to be able to have all of the rhymes and insults be Final Fantasy themed, or relate specifically to 14, but a lot of the time I felt like what it ended up being was just a line with a word. A line, this word rhymes, and it didn't feel as fluid or as rappy as what I wanted it to, so I abandoned that and just went for a lot of words that rhyme together. So the fact that you were actually able to put in, like, you had the Dancing Edge line, the Final Fantasy line.
The Final Fantasy line was great.
Yeah, that was
great
great.
line.
The problem was the Dancing Edge line. I didn't say it.
What?
I left out that verse.
Oh, you mean that line of the verse?
No, that whole verse. I left it out.
Really?
Yeah, I went. The problem was I wrote
Skipped
it. I skipped it. Well, I did the first verse, and then the second verse was actually supposed to be the last verse, and then the second verse was on the bottom, and I forgot.
Nobody can tell.
Nobody tells.
No.
Yeah. No, I thought that the lyrics you came up with today were a lot better than the ones you had at home.
The difference in style
Which
too,
you
is
used a rhyming dictionary for.
To me, I used a rhyming dictionary for the one here too.
But like I thought, like you were kind of actually like rapping like with the beat of the music at first, and you kind of had your own beat going with it. And it was really contrasting, but it made it feel like you guys were actually rapping in your own style and going against each other.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a great bit. I had no idea what to expect because you guys hadn't. You hadn't rehearsed at least in front of me.
We did a
One
dry
quick
read-through.
read-through,
yeah.
Well, it's like, and going back, it felt like they were just kind of busting it out, like it was
freestyle kind of.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I thought it was great. It played really well, and I had a lot of fun with that bit.
It was such a great cap off to this 3-part episode where you guys were just going at it the whole time, and we're trying to sell as best we can. It's just being uncomfortable.
And it also the other thing that's that's worth mentioning is that when I did the last time that we did the breaking music segment, I had premiered my Titan cover, and that was absolutely not something that was done. That was pre-recorded, and you know, it was an MP3 ready to go. I had time to craft it and work with it and futz with it and get it to really where I wanted it to be. And I have to give you guys a lot of credit to do that live. That's just a lot of guts.
Actually, this morning on the way here, Jux is like, wait, no, we're recording it beforehand, aren't we? And I'm like, no, we'll just do it live on the show. And I'm like, duh. And he's just like, I don't know if I can.
It worked so much better live. I think it worked so much better.
Our listeners are going to start getting suspicious anytime we do this limit-breaking music thing.
Yeah.
First it was the Garleans interlude in it, and then it was the rap battle into it.
Yeah.
Next time we do it, we're just going to make sure like nothing happens out of the ordinary.
Here's just 4 songs.
The end. Yeah.
The end.
I feel like though when episode 3 or whatever, since it has a very specific format that doesn't necessarily lead a whole lot of, or give a whole lot of options for, you know, like a really thorough discussion. I mean, obviously today with the whole vote kicking feature was something completely different. But I think that's the best place for skits to go.
Yeah.
Because it's not really interrupting anything. It's so formulaic the way that it's set up. And those skits help to bring a little bit more life to that.
Well, that's something we're going to have to address when we start going weekly, because theoretically we're not going to have that.
Well, I think the answer to that is that emails, FMFFLs, limit breaking music, all of those segments that we would squish into part 3, they would start becoming interchangeable week in and week out.
Right.
So one week we would do emails, another week we would do FMFFLs, depending on how much we would get out of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be one of the ways that the show changes when it goes weekly, because there are going to be some format changes.
Definitely.
But you know, I think what's really interesting about that is, and a little bit unfortunate too, is that we really kind of fell into a good place with our part 3s. Because for a long time, for like, I would say the better part of the year, our part 3 was like our offhang. It was
just coasting to finish line.
Exactly. And with the last 2 part 3s that we've done, we've gone out of our way to really make them entertaining and make them fun for us. And I think that translates to fun for the audience as well. And so, you know, it's kind of unfortunate that we're going to be kind of minimizing that segment or shrinking it down, you know, to be able to fit the weekly format.
Sort of, because I think one of the reasons that happened is it was a necessity, because the reason that it seemed like part 3 was something we coasted through was we've already been recording for
6 hours.
5, 6 hours.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
So yeah, that's at the point where it's like, whereas now with us coming and just doing an hour, 2-hour show, we're not going to be exhausted. We're going to be able to pour all of our energy into that.
That's true.
So I think at this point where the challenge is going to come is, do we try and come up with a bit or something fun every single week? I don't know if we're going to be able to do that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So maybe we come up with bits and we just save them for weeks where we feel like maybe we're light on something.
That's what it is. Like, if there's not a lot to talk about otherwise, we have a bit ready to go for that week.
Or it's like whipping out a part 3 for an entire episode. Like, let's say if there's, you know, a lag in content, sort of like we're experiencing right now, but with the space between you know, 2.55 and 3.0. So that's another, you know, that's another possibility. So that format may not disappear in its entirety.
Evolve and adapt.
But it's definitely going to change. But I really like where we've sort of taken the direction of our part 3s.
Absolutely.
To be a little bit more creative and to sort of take the chains off and like not get so caught up in just reading stuff. I think because that gets boring. I as much as, don't get me wrong, guys, I love your emails and please keep sending emails. But, you know, if we're just reading emails for 2 hours, I don't think that that's as interesting, even though one of our emails launched us into a good tangent today, so.
God, it was rough today. Like, that conversation,
back and forth.
That conversation,
like I said, it's hilarious that out of all the topics we've ever,
all the contentious issues,
that's the one that like puts us on edge.
Yeah. Well, it's not just us. Like, that's like Nika's hill. She's ready to die. like if I had
She's
to
pulling out her sword and shield.
If you put a fork to my nose and made me pick, I would be on Nika's side. I just don't care that much, though. I'm not ready to go fight over it.
The chat is staunchly with Nika.
I finish every run I go do. I don't vote dismiss or anything like that, but at the same time, I don't care enough to fight over it.
I'm the same way. I am not the type of person who would vote dismiss after getting the gear, but I understand those types of people.
Yeah, I get it.
I have been in situations where I want to do that, or I try to do that, and then
I just leave and take the 30. But that's because I'm not so hard pressed where like my time is that fucking valuable. Like guys, I need this 30 minutes. I'll go do something while it counts down.
I'll go do mysterious maps for a half hour, whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I think that's the other side.
Nobody tell Nika this stuff.
Yeah, dude,
nobody tell her.
Don't give her ammo.
Yeah.
No.
Good thing she's not on Patreon.
And one of the other things that we've decided we've talked about for doing these videos moving forward is we want to get Nika on Skype on the iPad and have her present
What if we get one of those stands, right? And we get like a cardboard cutout of Nika, and we set that, and then we can put the iPad in the face.
Oh my god!
Can we get one of those what are the things you put on the walls, like the sports athletes, and it's just Nika's Rogan?
Oh, what are those called? Fat heads?
Fat head. Yeah, a fat head of Nika's Rogan.
That would be really funny. We do want Nika to be a part of the post show.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it can't happen today because Game of Thrones.
Much more important.
Priorities, right? We do want to have Nika as a part of these conversations, these post shows moving forward.
Again, that's like another thing where once we're not doing this for 7 hours an episode, it won't be running till 9 at night.
That's true. Yeah, there definitely is a grind factor to doing all 3 parts in one day.
Hi.
But it'll get to the point also where we can do an episode and then someone will be able to stream tonight. Like this kind of night, are any of us going to go stream? I mean, maybe after midnight, but I got stuff to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm missing my coil right now. That's what I would normally be streaming on a Sunday night. So, yeah.
By the way, streaming has just gone over so well as like an extra thing that we can all do.
Yeah. I agree.
I think streaming in the short time that we've been doing it has done more for our fan relations than anything we've done in the past year.
Yeah, like ever since Scally started streaming and stuff, he's actually has people that like it.
I know, that's so weird.
He sold 2 shirts.
I did.
2 shirts.
I am no longer the proud owner of the world's only Escalia Rio Monster.
No, hold on. They claim to have ordered 2 shirts.
I'm still waiting to get it in the mail and sign it.
They're probably not proud of them.
Until I see like clerical proof that those 2 shirts have been purchased.
I can confirm one.
Okay. Well, the other one has not been purchased yet. It's getting purchased 4/22.
Okay.
That's very
That's what I'm told.
I didn't know that. That's weird. That seems like a weird thing to know.
Yeah. He's so prideful.
I just happen to know.
What's happening? He's
so weird. How
about that segment 2 with Ethis?
Ethis was great, man. Ethis killed it.
Yeah, I was like, have we had a segment that good in ever?
I think outside of the Susan Calloway interview and maybe some of our bits out at FanFest, that was some of the best FF14 podcasting we ever did.
I think just as like the 6 of us,
with lore of all things.
I know.
The 6 of us, including Ethis, it was a fluid conversation that all 6 of us had really good input on.
Yeah. Again, I think the only regret is that we didn't have time for more callers, and that was literally because we were jam-packed from beginning to end of all of our segments today, and all of our segments were damn near 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
And that, I mean, episode 14 is one of the longest shows that we've ever done in the history of the 14 show. And I know that there were. I mean, I know. Well, yeah, not in the actual. I don't know. But I know that Saskia wanted to call in, and
sorry, Sas.
Hasio I think also wanted to call in. Ryuichi,
Volkai.
And there was stuff that we didn't even. There's internal stuff that we didn't even get to mention too. Like coming up in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be fundraising to be able to get some new computer parts for Kahlo,
so that I can stream.
Yeah. So not only that he can stream, but his webcam can work on our streams.
Just work.
Yeah, just work.
Just work.
Work. I plug it in, like it works because I've been on Skype before, right?
Yeah.
And me and him, we Skype a few times, and I tried, so it works. But what's really weird is when I plug it in, sometimes it says that it can't detect the device. There was an error with the USB device, computer cannot detect it. So I just unplug it and plug it back in until it works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that sounds normal.
Yeah.
So we've figured out we need to get you a motherboard, a processor, and RAM. Those are the 3 things.
I'm going to need a new power supply, I guarantee it. Like I said, when I put in my graphics card that I have now, like it was
Where you're
like,
keeping the same graphics.
Right,
now.
right. But if I'm upgrading everything else, you think that 500 watts is still going to be okay for it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like,
No,
like
he shook his head.
I mean,
It's going to be the same voltage load on the processor. I mean,
what
it's
kind of
not gonna
video
be-
card do you have?
off the top of my head, I don't remember, but
It's a
basically,
5 series.
it was like a 560
560.
GeForce.
Do you know what kind of processor it was?
I have no idea what kind of-
The only big thing that changed lately with that is if you have anything like i5 or higher, it needs to have a continuous power supply as opposed to a.
Yeah, because I remember when I was installing my graphics card, it said bare minimum 500 watts.
I mean, but if you're not upgrading your graphics card, you still should be fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. I defer to you. So yeah, that.
That is, I mean, it is worth noting when you do decide to upgrade your graphics card, bump up that power supply.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, a
but
650 power supply these
let's-
days is $70.
here's the thing. Here's the thing is that it's really going to depend on what the what the audience decides that they're going to generously give to us.
Right.
So you're going to be able to provide the budget on that, and the reason that we're coming to you to ask for this is we know that you've already given to the show. The way that we use the funds on the show, it's not just that we collect your money and then split it up 5 ways, and then we choose what to do with it from there. We've actually got a very a very strict system on how we earn that money. That money is put into an account that then we have to be able to do things for the show or the website to be able to earn those funds. We have funds designated for things like new equipment, which later on in the week we'll be uploading another Patreon video. I'm going to give you another tour of the studio and take you through all of the upgrades that your money has been able to provide us, and all the ways that you've been able to provide us, the ability to produce a better show. So you can look forward to that coming up in the next week or two. I don't know, my work schedule is still kind of crazy.
Well, he's the only one that this matters to.
But check the Patreon page for that. That'll be going up
And
eventually.
it's good to know that so far, like pretty much 100% of funds that have come in have gone reinvestment into the show.
They absolutely have.
I mean, reinvestment is and will remain probably priority 1 for us. And
Yes.
you know, if the day comes where we're making enough to make our salary and do this 7 days a week, sweet.
It would be amazing, and of course you our gracious patrons allow us to be able to do that. So we thank you so much for allowing us to do what we do. It's because of your support that we're able to do this. So when you're thankful for a Limit Break Radio episode, you have only yourselves to thank, or well, actually, I mean, this only patrons see this. So yeah, you only have yourselves to thank. And
I guess you could thank the Twitch subscribers too if you
Yeah,
want to.
Twitch subscribers are
most
cool,
of them are
dudes.
probably already Twitch subscribers.
I
but,
feel like
it's
there's a
true.
bit of an overlap there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we do recognize that some people, they have to choose one or the other because their budget doesn't provide for it. And whatever the support that you give, whether it's $1 through PayPal, whether it's $1 a month through Patreon, or whether it's that $4.99 sub, which we only get 50% of, but that's neither here nor there. We thank you from the bottom of our heart because you allow us to do this awesome show that we have so much fun doing. And we get to meet really cool people like Ethis. Jesus,
So close.
so close.
God.
We get
Ethis.
and Ethis and all of the people in the chat, Fatsuno and Phi, Kooky.
Next rap battle: Ethis versus Fatsuno.
Oh,
God.
Pay-per-view.
I thought Ethis really contributed a lot to the show, and just he came off as kind of natural. And you mentioned it because you were talking to him in between one of the parts where we were kind of taking him out of his element a little bit. He's used to a very strict
Very
record.
He
scripted
said
record.
when we brought him in, he's like, "This is why I do it." You were talking about what you have to put up with. And he goes, "This is why I do things solo."
Yeah.
And you have to deal with us. So I mean, of course, huge thanks to Ethis for putting up with our silliness
Absolutely.
for a time. And I mean, I don't know. It sounded like he might be interested in doing a little bit more with us in the future. So
Fingers crossed. We're going to be looking to keep working with Ethis because I
I think he brought a great deal to the show.
Yeah.
I look forward to working with him. All right. Did we miss anything? I was kind of impressed with part 1, how we were able to take so little and just keep talking.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think that there was as little as you thought there were. I think that when you look at an outline,
it looks so small.
I don't think that you quite get the idea of what an outline really is, especially after your 22-page outline that we had for 13.5 or whatever it was. You know, no, I think we had plenty of stuff in there.
It's not a problem with outline making. It's that I need an editor. I know I need an editor.
When you look at it, you don't see a lot, which is, you normally do, and I think that makes you think, shit, we don't have a whole lot of stuff on
No. When we were watching the producer live letter, I was in my head going, fuck, we don't have anything to talk about in the first part. Because it was all retreaded information.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the outline, it had everything to do with the actual producer live letter. And me going, shit, we're fucked.
Yeah.
We're fucked for this first part. We're going to have to take like 7 calls to be able to get...
No, you have faith in yourself, have faith in me, in Juxta, and Nika. Have a little faith in Escalia even!
That's asking a lot, guys.
That is asking a lot.
Like an ounce or 6.
But like, every time we think we're gonna have a problem like that, we come out and we just go in and we kill it.
You're
like
right.
the whole
Honestly,
that 22 and a half page outline, like that was 22 and a half pages of frankly material that we already knew.
We so didn't need it.
Yeah.
I mean, ask yourself this.
That's why I don't print out outlines anymore.
That's why.
When was the last time we were actually short on an episode?
Oh, God.
It's been a long time.
I don't
It's
think
been...
we ever have been.
No.
Since going 14, have we ever gone short?
You were not here. There was a time, maybe episode...
Well, you know what?
1 or 2?
Episode 2 or 3, we were really struggling. No, I wanted, even around the time...
I wasn't there.
That was also before we were live, too.
I'm sorry, we had to create the drunk episode to be able to go, look, we need some shit to fill time. Like, that was the impetus for the drunk episode, remember that? Like, we were like, oh yeah, you guys are gonna stay at my house, but like, we should get drunk and ramble because
I don't remember
we
that.
are really shy on content. That happened. That was a real conversation.
That was like a dark time, and we weren't really even playing Final Fantasy too much.
Yes.
That is true, yeah.
Like,
that
the
is
Dark
when...
Light era?
The Dark Light era, yeah. No.
I don't think I was quite playing it then
It's
because
kind of
I
funny.
bypassed Dark Light.
You weren't level 50 at that point.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, why would I want to do my relic quest? I mean, I'm not going to do endgame or whatever. Who gives a shit about that? That sounds like work.
You guys would fight me all the time on getting Dark Light gear. I'm grinding for Dark Light
gear. I'm like,
that
who
was back
cares?
when you were
I like George's early theories
you
on this
never-
game was gonna be
I don't think you have ever ground any content like you ground out your philotones for Dark Light. Like
true.
you got your entire Dark Light set in one night.
That
Well,
was,
'cause
it was on keep stocking it.
That was. But the philotones were uncapped, so you could do that.
The amount of Wanderer's Palace runs you had to do,
I know.
do you even like how
I don't wanna
did
talk about
that's
it.
when it was Wanderer's Palace. Like, Ampedor Keep, that was like endgame, bro. That was hard shit.
There was a time when we were doing like the
Demon
first couple
Ball was a
episodes.
challenge.
You and I were talking before an episode started. I'm like, so how's like your Dark Light going? You're like, man, I don't want to do that endgame stuff. I'm gonna be crafting for a while.
Yeah.
You said that to me.
Who said that?
You did.
But there was totally that period, yeah, where Wanderer's Palace was the thing that you were grinding. You dreaded getting Amdapor Keep, and there were no glamour in the game completely at all.
Everyone was Dark Light.
Everyone was Dark Light, and I know that your biggest complaint was you were a paladin at the time, and the tank gear was fucking hideous.
And
it was the worst
and
gear.
the box helm.
Yes, it was so
my
bad.
box
It's
helm.
still to this
Forgot
to this day, easily Dark Light is some of the worst looking tank gear in the entire game.
I did at least 32 Crystal Tower runs to get my Armor of Light so I could bypass that tank.
That sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah.
God. Well, we've come a long way.
We have come a long way, and again, some of it is, a lot of it is thanks to you guys, the audience. You have been able to hold us up and support us, and if you guys weren't listening, I think this would be a little bit more disheartening. I think we'd still do it, but it would just be a little bit more disheartening.
Yeah.
Me and Jux would definitely dread coming down here a lot more than we already do.
Yeah. Well, but it's an hour-long drive for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hour and 20 minutes.
it's a pretty big commitment to get down here. So
Well, especially when you talk about.
I don't want to downplay that at all. You know?
No, when you talk about going to do it every Sunday, that's a big
Yeah.
commitment.
True,
Every
but the biggest part, especially and I can feel for Jux, is just the amount of gas back and forth. But I mean, now that that's covered,
It's covered.
I actually don't mind the drive because it usually gives us it's bro time. Sorry, I don't mind the ride
Thank you.
because it's bro time. We always talk about either what's going on in FF or whatever other game we're playing. It was a lot of.
Alright, let's just this is Kalo in the car.
It was a lot of FF record keeper. Not true. We wrote rap battle stuff.
You wrote rap battle stuff. You're
Because
like,
I didn't
write
realize
everything.
because I didn't realize that you needed a freaking rhyming dictionary to do it. He's like, I want to help. And I'm like, all right, well help. And he's like, well,
I can't drive.
I'm
We'll try
driving.
to
I'm
fly.
like, just come up with stuff. He's like, without a rhyming dictionary.
It's
I'm
hard.
like I didn't realize he like I was actually legitimately surprised and taken aback that he spent the better part of the day using the internet to come up with his rhyme. And like literally, I sat down. We watched Daredevil the other day, and I sat down while we were waiting for her. 15 minutes. I had if that. I had both my verses. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm writing my raps." Done.
See, my problem is when I think of a word to rhyme with, I just like come up with like the same word over and over again. So I'm like, okay, I need a rhyme that starts has room in it. So like bedroom, back room, dining. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's all just room.
You didn't get to like the word
How about
broom or something.
Broom.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
But that still has
That's still room.
room.
Damn it! God.
Or they're just really simple ones where he'll be like bone, phone, cone, zone.
That'd be an improvement, actually. Can't even. No.
It's okay. Your strengths lie elsewhere.
I did good.
You did good.
Yeah.
I took it more of instead of a rap battle as a poetry battle. And that makes
That's
it
what rapping is.
It is.
It's poetry.
Good job.
Don't let them know.
Next time we'll actually freestyle.
No.
No, that would be a disaster.
No
Yeah.
pre-writes. No
No,
pre-writes.
no,
Oh,
No
God.
notes.
No. All right. Let's you and
You want to do a freestyle rap battle with me next time? No
No.
free write. Why? Come on, man.
I am actually working on a Dragoon rap, but it's not going to be freestyled.
And
You heard it here first. The Scali is working
and
on a
Nero?
Dragoon.
I am.
Dragoon rap.
Would you
No,
freestyle
it's
with
a
me?
Dragoon rap.
No, I'm terrible. Because I actually.
Ferris? Ferris, you want to get on the video?
I don't feel good.
Oh, that's too bad. Seems like nobody
I'm sure
wants to
Ethis and
freestyle with you.
Fatsuno will freestyle.
Yes,
with you.
somebody will. Kooky.
All right.
Cookie might.
So if we keep talking much longer, this is going to be easily as long as any one of our episodes.
And part 4 of today's episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
my God.
So thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. Of course, I would give the URL, but you already give, so you already feel the
The warm, loving grasp and embrace of Lunar.
That's not at all what I was going to say, but sure, we'll go with it. Anyway, thank you very much for supporting us on Patreon, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy.
Did you just salute them?
No.
Oh, look
I
at
saluted them.
over here.
Can we turn this off now?
And we're out. That's where I'm ending it.
Scally, do it.
We're going to do it?
Yeah, do it,
How we're
both
gonna-
of you.
Get on camera.
Is it across the middle?
Across the middle.
Yeah.
Like that.
You're so serious.
You got it.
It's a serious dance.
Oh, is it?
Shit's going down during
You
this.
just gotta
Just banged my knee on the table and it really didn't feel very good. Damn, you're so
Okay. Did it happen?
Why would you do this to me?